What's up everyone, Adam from FWCI Collector's Edition here, and today we're going to be unboxing the new DC Multiverse Batman vs. Bane 2-pack from McFarlane Toys. I'm very excited for this one. Bane is my guy. I've always loved Bane. I had a few Batman comics when I was growing up, and Bane was a main part of all of them. So he's always held a special place in my heart, and I've loved all the iterations of Bane. But with everything that's going on, I've never owned a Bane action figure. So I'm excited to unbox this one. Now, this was very expensive. I'm just going to say that right off the bat. It was $138 dollary dues, 138 Australian for this 2-pack here, and if it wasn't for Bane, I wouldn't even be looking twice at anything from McFarlane at that price point there. But Bane is my guy, so we're gonna give it a look. The Batman figure looks interesting as well. We're gonna have a crack at this and open it up. If you do want to support the channel, make sure you do subscribe. Help us get to 1,000 subscribers. There will be more McFarlane unboxings in the future. The Batman Forever wave has been pre-ordered, so I'll definitely be doing that one in the coming month. Now, first of all, looking at the packaging, it's your pretty typical McFarlane Toys 2-pack box. Very, very big. Bane is huge. Nice artwork on the back there as well of the Nightfall comic of Bane. I will break you, Batman. Across the knee, which is exactly what this moment here is exactly what this figure is supposed to, be able to bring to life. So I'm keen to see what we're going to get with this. So the first little feature I see here looks to be a bit of a page out of the Jada Toys playbook, which I'm all for that. Jada Toys do a great job with the Street Fighter figures, and it looks like we've got the Batcave with the dinosaur and the giant coin and everything else. And it does just come unclipped here by the looks of things. It's a bit tricky to get it to stand up, but a nice little backdrop there with the inside of the old comic Batcave. We've got the Batman vs. Bane trading card here, and what have we got written on the back? The fight between Bruce Wayne and Bane is detailed in Batman number 497. After 3 months, the exhausted Batman was no match for Bane. Bane pummels him ruthlessly before breaking Wayne's back over his knee inside the Batcave below the manor, breaking Batman's back. So my first impressions unboxed are that they look fantastic. They look obviously exactly like Bane and Batman should, but just the tone of the paint, like it's not too bright. There's a lot of like flashes of that nice blue, but overall it looks like it's largely just this sort of very matte, very kind of darkish kind of tone. So looking at the accessories of these, Batman comes with, 6 hands. He comes with some gripping hands, he comes with some fists, he comes with some open hands, like, he's ready to do the Killer Kowalski claw, I'm pretty sure this is what that one is. And he comes with this Batarang as well, which is in that same kind of light blue plastic as the hands of the figures and everything like that. So, I don't know, I'm not a huge fan of that Batarang, it doesn't look very good. And Bane comes with a couple of fisted hands to go with his open, menacing hands as well. They both come with a stand as well, which, by the way, I kind of love these DC stands. They're slowly becoming, like, my favorite way. If I have to use a stand, I try and use these ones. And Bane's foot fits in a regular size peg hole as well, for those who are wondering. So looking at the paintwork on Batman, it looks great. I mean, we've got these little rips and tears, ripping and tearing all over his suit, and they've actually drawn it with a little bit of a darker outline around the rips, so it looks even more sort of like comic-y. They've got a little bit of definition around his midsection as well as a little bit of shading on the belt also, which is interesting that there's a bit of cell shading on both of these figures here, but it seems to be done in a way where it's not very easy to spot. It's a little bit more, I don't know, it makes a little bit more sense for these things to be cell shaded the way they are. And looking at the paintwork here on Bane, McFarlane's do a great job with that like flesh color there. It always has like a little bit of a kind of a dirt and a grit to it, and it looks fantastic. Look at that hair all over this man's shoulders in particular. He likes to shave his back, keep the shoulders, apparently. Maybe he's just so jacked that he can't reach the shoulders in particular. Similar color blue to what we see on the Batman with this one here. I guess it's cell shading all over his suit. I don't hate it. I kind of like it. I'm not a huge fan of cell shading in general, but again, McFarlane seemed to have really done a great job, except for the back. It seems not a great deal of cell shading on the back. Who cares? Let's just whack it on the front, which is what they've done there. I don't even mind the cell shading on Bane's mask. I mean, I can see that people might not like that. It looks a little bit too artificial, but I don't know, it adds a little bit more color to him. And while I'm always down for a regular, you know, Bane with just the white and red on the mask, I kind of like this one here. I think it looks great. Nice paint on the belt in the middle there as well, and on the metal tubing. That is all reflective paint, which is good to see. All right, now let's talk about the articulation. Let's do Batman first, because I'm just going to include this in articulation because we have an articulated cape. This is, I don't know if this is the first one that McFarlane's have done so far, but this is a really, really nice cape. It's very, very heavy duty. It's very, very like nice and shiny. It sticks out quite a bit. There's no articulation around the bottom of it. It's just on the sides there, but really I think that's all you need. It's a very, very light blue. Oops, there goes his batarang. Very light blue on the, you know, on the outside, that kind of shiny sort of material. Satin. It almost looks like a satin sort of material. But yeah, you want your Batman to have his cape like all up in that shit. In fact, let's do this quickly, because I've been dying to do this. Let's get out the old starting lineups. Flight stand. I did a similar pose to the one I'm trying right here with a M. Bison, and it looked so good. It's one thing that I've been really, really excited to try with this Batman figure. By the way, in my opinion, pro tip, the flight stands from the starting lineup figures, the NBA ones, they go great with DC figures, because it's a really, really strong, you know, kind of powerful sort of stand. But that looks great. When you can get these DC Multiverse figures on a decent stand, you know, it really, really adds to the whole display, because they're so big, you know. But looking at the articulation on Batman here, let's start with the head. What kind of movement have we got on this one? It's hard to sort of tell. I don't think the head comes off. I'm not going to try it too much just in case it doesn't. Decent side to side, back and forth. That's what you get from the head. Got the, I nearly said octopus joints. I don't know what I meant. The butterfly joints there. As always, I don't know. I feel like DC don't get the most out of their butterfly joints, but you've got them there if you want them. Articulation. Is there a waist cut? There is, but the belt kind of keeps the waist in place, and then you've just got this big ab crunch here instead. Twist all the way around. You get the idea. Not a great deal of articulation in the legs. There's no thigh cut. It's just like, oopsie daisy, there goes Bane. Oh, I just saved your ass, Bane. You owe me. Yeah, that's what it looks like down there. It's got those kind of joints, whatever the hell they're called. Double jointed. It's all pinned, which is unfortunate. Bit of toe articulation as well. I don't know. I'm in two worlds about these McFarlane figures in terms of the articulation. It looked like they should be really good, but then when you get your hands on them, they're not. And I don't understand why. But they are definitely getting better, that's for sure. What I want it for, that Batman's going to be fine. But now let's see what we've got going on here with Bane. Bane, yes, that's my name. Okay, starting with the head. Not much, because it's actually attached to this thing on the back, so, you know, not a great deal going on there. You can't really lift it up that much either. So you're pretty limited there. I don't think there's a great deal of articulation on this. Glad we got the big like wingling joints there, so you can at least have his arms like all the way out like that. Because other than that, there is not much going on these arms at all. Single jointed. Can I even bend it? Where's the thing? There it is. There you go. I'm gonna have to become Bane just to bend these elbows in and out, so you don't get a great deal with the elbow joints, and the hands plug all the way in. Oh wow, yeah, he is very heavy duty. We've got a lot of articulation right in the waist for him, which is good to see, and then there is a little bit of articulation in the hip there, or I'm about to rip it off, either or. Double jointed knees, I think. Do you have double jointed knees, Bane? Yeah, but is that like a material there, or is that plastic? That's hard to even tell. And Bane's got the toe articulation as well. Yeah, no boot cut on this one, and I'm not sure if it has a thigh swivel or not. It might just be the figure, it might be a thigh swivel. You're gonna have to have a look for yourself. But the big question is, do these boys pass the Tarantino test?
Tarantino test.
This is the part of the video where we talk about the feet of the action figure, and I tell you if I think they're good for posing in terms of having a nice solid foundation or not. And we do this in the name of Quentin Tarantino because we all know that he loves feet. So let's start with Batman. This is your more sort of typical figure, I guess. I mean, the feet on him are fairly flat. The ankles on these are always a little bit of a problem though. That seems to be the main issue with these McFarlanes, but you know what, for the most part, even with the you know, limited articulation in the leg and everything like that, I think Batman passes the Tarantino test. Can you imagine a Batman film directed by Quentin Tarantino? Start off with a 3-hour bath scene of Alfred scrubbing his feet.
Tarantino test.
But let's check out Bane, and sometimes with these big figures you can get a bit of a nice balance going with them, but I don't think that's going to be the case here. Well, I'll be damned. There we go. How you like me now? Alright, so there we go. So Bane's actually pretty good. If that's not passing the Tarantino test, I don't know what the hell is. But yeah, no, I'm pretty happy with him actually. Like, a bit of articulation in the ankles as well is nice. He's going to be able to, I'm going to be able to get him in some pretty decent poses, I think. So of course this is depicting the moment where Bane snaps the bats back in two, and then you know, Batman has to go off and rejuvenate himself while Bane runs roughshod. Love the idea of making these figures to actually be able to recreate a specific moment. As you can see, this is my attempt right here, so I hope you enjoy that. I don't know if I'm going to leave them posed like this, just because I love how this Batman looks on a flight stand, and I love how this Bane looks just standing there being Bane. So I don't think I'm going to leave it in this pose, but it's fun to at least, you know, give it a crack one time. Here is Bane with the Michael Keaton McFarlanes, still one of my favorite McFarlane Batman figures. And here he is with the, I think this is the Batman Hush figure, don't quote me on that, whatever it is, it looks okay, but it's really a bit of a pain in the ass of a figure to try and pose. So I don't really do much with it, that's why he's balancing on his cape, because it's one of those horrible, hard capes. So if you're wondering, that's what that one looks like. And here he is next to the McFarlane's Arkham City Joker. And this is the Batman next to the Arkham City infected Joker as well. So my final thoughts on this pack is that it's definitely a step in the right direction for McFarlane. This big Bane figure definitely feels like it's McFarlane Toys doing what they do best. You know, it's very kind of bulky and almost Spawn-like, I guess, in some ways, in terms of like the articulation. So it's a great final product. The price really, really hurts though, and I can't sort of honestly say to somebody, go out of your way to get this, because it all comes down to what the price is. And unfortunately for this one, it was a little bit expensive, but I'm happy that I got this Bane. And this Batman, I didn't realize I needed a like light blue batsuit Batman with battle damage to hop on a flight stand and take pride on my shelf, but I think it's gonna get a bit of shelf time. So speaking of which, are these shelf worthy? Yes, both of them are shelf worthy. Bane is the reason I got it, and Batman just pops so much. That color scheme looks great. I love the way it poses. I love the accessories we've got, with the exception of the Batarang. I wish that could be a little bit better. And I also noticed that there is a bit of articulation around the ankle on Batman as well, so there's a little bit more leg articulation there than I initially saw. But let me know in the comments what you thought about this video. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Remember, 1,000 subscribers is the goal. If you haven't subscribed and we're not there yet, do us a solid, hook us up. Otherwise, Bane will come and break your back, and then Batman will have to come and save you. And then you get to meet Batman, so, you know, I hear he's moody. But thanks for checking this one out, everyone, and as always, be well, stay safe, look after your figs, see you in the next video. Peace!